Thanks for the good intro. Again, my name is Josh Hamrick. I am the end-user computing specialist here. I am local to Denver, Colorado. And then in regards to a quick background, I have been with Airwatch for the past 5 years, so certainly I've seen a lot of transition from the mobile device management space as we've gotten to where we are today. And then in terms of our agenda for today, I would like to do a brief presentation to help build up the demonstration portion that I'll be executing today. So a little intro into, again, company, what Airwatch does, where we are from the mobile device management spectrum, and then also transitioning into the live demo. What I'll be doing today is showing the full life cycle of the device, so from unenrollment to enrollment, and then what it looks like to actually manage it from the admin console here. So again, pretty brief on everything and actually touching on a lot of aspects, but at the same time, there is a lot to managing the mobile devices, your mobile fleet there, and there's a lot that's changing in mobility as well. So without any hesitation, let's kind of get into the presentation portion. The demo here from Airwatch. This is a kind of a brief look from our little trade floor there that carries our R&D department. So again, there is a lot going into the mobile space, the mobile spectrum. There's a new Android phone that's coming out on about every 14 days, and then also, today's a big day with the should be the new iPhone 7 release there. So having those unique partnerships and dedication to R&D is quite important. And then furthermore into industry recognition from the analytical side, Gartner, we're in their leaders quadrant there. And the relevance of really showing this slide is not where we reside from the Gartner perspective, but how Gartner has changed this quadrant from a mobile device management quadrant to an enterprise mobility management quadrant. That'll make more sense here as I continue on the presentation. But again, the takeaway here is being noticed for our completeness of vision and ability to execute, and how that has changed over time. And really what that means is the evolution of mobile device management into what is now enterprise mobility management, and getting beyond just securing your mobile device, but also enabling the mobile device from the application side, content side, and then even maybe a workspace idea and digital workspace, as you'll see as we continue on here. So again, what we're doing from Airwatch and what the goal is here is to have access to any application, anytime, anywhere, on any device, and in this case here from any endpoint. So we're not limited to just your mobile tablets and mobile phones. We do provide full management for your laptops, and then even kind of sampling into printers, rugged devices as well, and on any operating system. So iOS, Android, Windows Mobile, Windows 10, Symbian. And we're doing this in a single pane of glass view. It's a web-based solution that provides the full asset tracking and full device life cycle for the entire fleet there. And then we can even customize based off of exactly how you're delivering or what you're trying to execute from your use case. So if it is a BYOD scenario where you're seeing the explosion of mobile tablets or mobile devices that are coming in, your end users, your employees, etc., are now trying to access corporate information outside of the workplace. So I'm no longer simply working from a desk or being able to just access work information at work. So being able to take that, and then how do we put the corporate information on the corporate on device, the BYOD devices, the shared devices. So again, getting back into the enablement aspect there. Briefly on this evolution, this industry evolution that I spoke about, again, it really starts from the mobile device management side and just the bare bones of the device itself. Again, how do I take my device that either is my personal one that I received or one that I'm given from the corporate side, and enable it for me to be successful, right? So with the Wi-Fi, VPN, email, phase 2 here, I went a little fast on the automation piece, but is the next step of this, and what is really transformed into the industry evolution of mobile application management, mobile content management, browser management, and things of that nature there. So being able to push and pull the exact applications and making sure that I'm receiving what I'm supposed to based off of who I am inside the organization there. And then phase 3 is more of the workflow, what we're calling digital workspace, and what we're seeing is that next phase. So again, mobile device management, enterprise mobility, to now kind of that digital workspace and being able to access all of my information anywhere, anytime, and fully enabling me as an end user, but doing so securely as well so that I have kind of control, visibility from the admin IT side, that I am doing this in a form that is secure via a single sign-on, and really leveraging identity management to provide any application on any device there. And so that's how we get to this last phase of the digital workspace and Workspace 1. And this is where we've seen the evolution. This is where it's growing. We're kind of trying to stay a step ahead by leveraging identity management. So if you already have identity management in place, that's great. We're going to be able to integrate with you there. Secondly, if you do not, we leverage an identity management solution ourselves. And we can do this to provide that mobile application. So through a VPN tunnel that's launched upon trying to open an application, or going beyond just mobile apps and being able to enable web-based apps, SaaS apps, etc., and doing it on a unified endpoint management system that is Airwatch, that you can control that from the IT side. And then furthermore, again, expanding the horizons outside of just applications, but maybe even able to access my desktop from anywhere as well. So opening it, launching a desktop from my Mac, or even from my iPad here that you should hopefully see here momentarily. A brief look of what that dashboard looks like. So this is the inside view from the head admin perspective. I'm going to get into this in the live portion here in a moment, and really get into some of the differentiators and how we're able to architect our solution to fit your different BYOD, corporate-owned only, or a mixed environment there. But again, having a web-based solution that I can access from anywhere, anytime from the admin side, and leveraging this here is what we're looking at. So let's go ahead and jump into the demo. The first part that I want to show here is actually our admin console. So again, that exact same look that I just showed from the slide. And in this case here, I would be the head admin for this fictitious corporation called Worldwide Enterprises. And let me touch on how we set up our architecture here. And we do this multi-tenant aspect. And what we're able to do from here is build out different groups. So I can get as granular as I would like with these different organizational groups. And in regards to detailed, I also can kind of separate these linear as well. So for example, if I wanted to kind of come in here and show my executives, United States, etc., being able to differentiate between a BYOD or just a regular corporate-owned device. The relevance here is depending on where my device resides or who I am within the organization based off of a user group, Active Directory, LDAP, is going to determine how my device is going to be configured. What I mean by that is what mobile applications I'm going to receive, or what applications I'm going to have access to, how my device is going to be imaged, some of the mobile profile management perspective, content that's made available to me, etc. So this, again, is the head admin aspect. And what we do with the multi-tenancy is pair that with a role-based access. So here I'm the head admin, and I'm going to kind of transition to what it would look like if I was help desk United States at just one executive level. And what's going to happen, you're going to first see that I have limited visibility as far as the number of the devices in the console. Also from within my drop as well, that I only have the limited visibility. So I can customize exactly who has the availability based off of, again, who I am inside the organization. So not just the head admin, I can help span this out. One, cutting down on tickets, and two, also allowing for greater management, scalability, and things of that nature there. Furthermore, as this assisted admin, I'm limited in my functionality. I don't have access to system settings, the applications. I can't add any apps or anything in that perspective, users. I just have my basic functionality control, reports, and things there. So as I transition back to that head admin, I do want to kind of touch on some of the things that I'm seeing here within these pop-ups and my dashboard itself, and why it's important, right? So we do have the ability to customize the information that is important to you. So for example, maybe passcode being on the device, compromise detection if the device has been jailbroken or rooted. Last seen is going to be extremely important in a production environment. So if the device has been down 0 to 3 days, having these quick shortcuts that's on my login screen, or being able to set up alerts, reports that are based off of you get a DL, or however you would like to kind of distribute these daily, weekly, monthly, etc. Also have my different platforms that can be broken down to me. So again, quick access, quick visibility. When I launch these shortcuts, in this case here, I'm going to have visibility to all 27 of my Apple devices. I can also sort from within here as well. So if I just want to have visibility to who is not updated to 9.3 and above, I can do so. Furthermore, I can take action at a certain level. So I can grab all of my devices that I've kind of customized through a filter and send a message to. I can kind of do any type of location support, device detect, device delete, etc. In regards to the filter itself, I can kind of customize this from my entire fleet and find the exact devices that I'm looking for. So again, maybe just my corporate-owned devices that are tied to a particular user group, device type, etc., from platform to operating system, and can again find the exact group of devices that I'm looking for there. So now to kind of transition quickly into the life cycle of the device, I'm going to take my personal iPad here that's on the screen. Let me kind of minimize this view aspect. All right, and go through the life cycle, right? So a few things to recognize with this. This is my personal iPad, so again, kind of mimicking more of a BYD scenario. So again, how do I get my corporate Wi-Fi on the device, corporate email, you know, my applications that I'm leveraging, etc. It's simply going through that enrollment process. So I do want to point some things out. One, I only have my personal email on here, also the camera, FaceTime, etc. The relevance is when I enroll into this enterprise company, I'm going to receive you know, the profiles that are tied to me. It's going to eliminate camera and FaceTime, going to provide my Exchange email, and then provide new applications as well. So to go through that enrollment process, simply navigating to a website, I then can leverage my you know, corporate email. So again, simplicity for the end user is the relevance here and what we're trying to accomplish. Let me make sure I type in my email correctly. And now it's just going to simply ask me to install the profiles that I spoke about to put me into my actual corporate location group. And another thing to keep in mind here with the web-based portion, that it is going to look the same there based off of any device. We're going to kind of keep it with look there. Looks like it wasn't prompting me to install. There we go. The password there is just my basic password on my device, that extra layer of security that we're providing, and then I'm installing the profile. And there is the full enrollment. So I will now have the congratulations screen, and as I go back, we'll start seeing changes to the device pretty much immediately here from the, again, the takeaway and no longer having access to FaceTime and camera there, to new applications that are going to be installing down to my device. From the privacy aspect, I am going to be prompted to install applications from the application store as well there. It should pop up to the front of the screen. And these are all just kind of a simple, quick ask of me to be installed. And now as we finish up the installing of those applications, I can point out that inside the actual dashboard itself, that my device is enrolled. We're trying here. I haven't had this Wi-Fi has been slowing on me here. Perfect. So within here, again, want to go down the fact that here's my device inside the console, some basic information that's provided to me as the admin, phone number, asset number, UDID, the applications that are kind of set up for me to install, profiles that are set up to me for me to install. Here's the list of my MDM profiles, for example. Another piece here is showing that I can grab a certain profile, push it out automatically to the device itself. So in this case here, actually pushing down my email information so that I have access to my Office 365 applications. I'm able to see every single app that's on the device if it's a native application. So again, like I have the ABC app, BYOD, but public managed applications, I can push and pull these on demand over the air to the device no matter where it is, kind of worldwide there. Content the exact same way based off of, again, who I am, where I reside inside the organization. Location is going to be the GPS location of the device, user information as well. So as far as, again, more of if I have multiple devices, being able to separate between corporate employee-owned shared devices, more information like network, MAC address, IP address, etc. Some of the actions that I have beyond your rudimentary features of locking and being able to send messages, find the device. I can do my different wipes of the device as well. Then even full message control from this aspect here too. Lastly, kind of jumping back to the device itself, I wanted to show the idea of having the catalog again based off of who I am, being able to launch what we're calling that digital workspace, right? And so from here, I'm able to launch my digital workspace from my iPad, but simultaneously, I want to show what this looks like from the from my web browser as well, my personal Mac. So the idea of being able to, again, any device, any application, anytime there. So I have, my launcher from my iPad with my application catalog to where I can customize this, and it's not limited to web applications at all here. This is everything that I would have access to, again, based off of where I reside within my different groups, and I can add any of these applications kind of on demand here. So simultaneously, let me log in to my workspace from here, and it will launch in the whole idea of what I'm trying to display, the exact same view. So similar look and feel. And then as I kind of jump back over to my iPad, I wanted to at least launch the mobile desktop from here as well. So being able to access, in this case, a Windows 7 desktop, which is also my Windows 7 desktop from the actual iPad itself. So it's going to go through and leverage our single sign-on capability, know that I am signed into my workspace, and load my Windows 7 desktop, in this case here, from my iPad. And then just this kind of little visible proof here, it kind of works great with the fact that it's just is a touch screen only, but I can kind of still leverage a touch idea and be sensitive and able to either launch a web page, access anything from my desktop, all with you know, kind of on my iPad. And then lastly, I wanted to finish up the actual life cycle of the device with being able to take it out of the console, going through the unenrollment piece from the management perspective here. So if I wanted to do an enterprise wipe of this device, as an admin, I can grab it and over the air send it the command to do the device wipe. And then what will be happening on the back end here is you'll start to see my applications disappear. I will then you know, soon have my camera and FaceTime will become available to me again. My device is just how it was, you know, before we started the demonstration here. So again, for me, this could represent exactly what it looks like from the BYOD side, because nothing was affected from my personal use as far as my email still being accessible, photos, etc. This also could be that corporate aspect and being able to launch that Workspace 1 where I have a container approach where this is where all of my corporate information is going to reside. But again, it's the idea of a lot of versatility and a lot of availability based off of what the use case is with inside your organization. So again, if it's corporate owned, if it's a shared environment, if it's a BYOD, we're offering a solution for all of the above there. For, again, simplicity from the admin side and giving you that visibility, and then also simplicity and enabling from the actual end user side as well there. So, you know, I know that was brief. There's a lot of the different individual topics that touch on, but I wanted to kind of stay high level just so that everyone is aware of what is out there, what is capable. So, again, from the MDM side, from the mobile application side, the profile side, but then also a digital workspace as well, and being able to have that access to any of my corporate information on any device. So I hope this was useful for you guys. I do want to see if anyone has any specific questions that I could address at this time or maybe momentarily when we get back to the towards the end of the demonstration, but feel free to open up for questions.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Josh. The demo was fabulous, and I think really a picture is worth 1,000 words. So thank you for going through that in detail. There is a lot in there, but I think you really demonstrated the simplicity of the remote device management, which we know is increasingly complex today. So
Right.
Great demo. Thank you again. Great presentation. At this time, we will open it up for questions. As a reminder, if you have any questions about the presentation or the demo, of course, please post them to the questions pane in the GoToWebinar control panel. And we do have a few coming in, so we'll just dive right in. I'm sure related to the demo we just saw, Josh, someone is asking, do I need the Airwatch agent on my device to enroll in Airwatch?
Right.
Can you confirm that?
Yeah, good question there. So we do not require the agent as part of the enrollment process, but it certainly is required with some of the, or not required, but recommended based off of the benefits of the compliance detection that we do with being able to determine if the device has been jailbroken or rooted that's entering your system, specifically in a BYOD scenario. Just is, you know, one, being able to take advantage of that, and two, the idea of having a uniform way of enrolling from a mobile device. So in the end, no, it is not a requirement. From the live demo myself, I launched Safari and demoed from inside, or enrolled from inside the browser. So not a requirement, but just one of our recommendations.
Awesome, thank you. Another question. Oh, this is a good one. Obviously, from the demo, you showed the iPad, and it applies to phones. But the question is, does Airwatch only manage phones and tablets? What about my PCs, Windows 10, or users on Mac?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are certainly not limited from the iPad, iPhone perspective there. It is what I demoed today, just to kind of quickly switch back and forth. But full Mac management We offer the Windows 10 management. What Windows has recently done with Windows 10 is made it the exact same kind of profile-based management that we're seeing from the Android and the iOS phones. So it really correlates well with an MDM as far as your Windows 10 kind of management. But all in all, no, there is no limitation there. We kind of started from the mobility side of phones, but any laptop, anything that is a mobile device is going to be able to be managed in just one login console with Airwatch.
Excellent. Yeah, I think with remote users today, they typically have the mobile devices as well as laptops. So I think that's excellent.
Great.
Thank you for clarifying that. We do have a couple more questions, and a tiny bit of time, we'll squeeze them in. Is VMware Workspace 1 just a bundle of products?
Yeah, so
I guess related to the architecture of how everything's built, I assume.
Right, and that's actually a really good question. So the solution to Workspace 1 is just what has come from the acquisition of VMware and Airwatch, and now as obviously we are Airwatch by VMware, we are offering it as Workspace 1, where we have combined a mobile device management solution with a single sign-on identity management VDI aspect, and have called it Workspace 1. So this is not a bundle of products. It is what we have become, staring down 2.5 years post-acquisition from VMware, and this is the product offering, and again, kind of where we're seeing the mobility, enterprise mobility management space convert into.
Excellent, thank you. Yes, better to be ahead of the game. I think this last question that we'll squeeze in, and then we'll get to a few last follow-up points from Chris, is probably in the same vein of being ahead of the game. Last question, if a customer already has an identity management solution, do they still use Workspace 1?
Yes, so they still can. So if you're working with a current identity management provider, we most likely integrate with them and kind of can leverage that to provide single sign-on from our Workspace 1 application catalog that you saw me launch there. I didn't really have a ton of time with the limited to be able to launch and show the single sign-on aspect, but at the same time, whoever you're leveraging from the identity management side will be able to integrate with our Workspace 1 solution.
Excellent, thank you. We're close on time, but that concludes our questions